Well, the manifestation process can often seem very convoluted for us. And I've got a hoarse voice today, but nonetheless, I felt called to make this video to make it a little bit less convoluted for you, hopefully. Um, I've been into these ideas for a long time. Excuse me. And I think it's fascinating how we make relatively straightforward psychological uh, sounding manifestation ideas into these conceptual theories that end up hindering us instead of helping us get more of what we want in our lives. And more importantly, I would argue, feel better. Because as you hear so often in these teachings, if you feel better within, it's just natural that your life improves externally as well because you act differently, you behave differently, you react to things around you differently. And because of that, more positive things are drawn to you. I think that many manifestation teachings, as wonderful as they are, confuse us on this point. And in general, the manifestation space is just way too conceptual. They're way too in their head. And what makes the stuff we talk about on this channel so different is that it's so body based the way I discuss these ideas, because that's the only thing that's ever really worked with me to any type of sustainable success. And with most of the clients I work with, it's the only thing that sustainably changes things for them. We have to go with the body, not against the body. We can't be afraid of the body. We have to work with the body. In other words, we have to get somatic. So I've been making a few videos recently talking about Eugene Gendlin and his focusing approach, which is a great somatic approach. And I just wanted to continue reading another excerpt. The stuff I've been reading is just from his book, Focusing, and it's from the chapter called The Six Focusing Movements and What They Mean. And these movements, these six movements, you could argue, listen, this is more of an art than a science, okay? It's not technical. He's giving you these broad strokes where if you understand what he's getting at, what Gendlin's getting at, it can change your life. And this passage I'm about to read from explains why manifestation is going to work much better for you in terms of you feeling better on the inside and getting more of what you want on the outside if you trust the body, and why it does not work well for a lot of people, and why you shouldn't feel bad if it hasn't worked well for you a lot of the time, is because you probably were too in your head about it. And when we get too in our heads about things in general, we just don't get the results we want as often as we would like. This stuff's not easy, but it's worthwhile doing. And the Gendlin approach makes it more forgiving, more gentle, and more straightforward than just about anything I've encountered. So this is Gendlin, and keep in mind too, Gendlin's not a manifestation teacher by any means, okay? Nor am I. Really, what Gendlin's into is realizing that how you feel is shaping your life, and that's what I'm into too. And that just links directly to manifestation. All right, it's just we don't have to sensationalize it in order to get some real benefit out of applying these ideas. So in this part of the chapter of the six focusing movements and what they mean in focusing, Gendlin writes, let words or pictures come from the feeling. Let it label itself. For instance, the feeling you have might be scared, or a stiff place inside me, or a heavy feeling here. Don't try to explain it. Let it explain itself. Again, let words or pictures come from the feeling. I'm going to put a link to the previous video we did where we were just talking about this. If this is not clear, it will be in the description. Gendlin writes, there is a distinct difference between forcing words or images into a feeling and letting them flow out of it. When you force them into it, you effectively smother it and prevent it from showing its real nature. You tell it, oh, I already know what you are. There's no sense wasting time on you. This closed-minded approach is, unfortunately, the approach most people take to their bodily feelings most of their lives. The approach fails to make anything new happen, fails to reveal anything not known before, fails to produce change. As a result, people go round and round with the same problems, expend a lot of energy, and get nowhere. And holy shit, did Gendlin just describe the whole manifestation process for a lot of people and why it does not work. Neville was no dummy when he said feeling is the secret, but feeling is the secret not in the way that we conceptually think. Feeling is the secret in the way Jen talks about in this paragraph, which deals directly with using your imagination in your body and not forcing a narrative onto a feeling, but allowing the feeling to come up with what is actually happening. That's imaginative body work. That's somatic work. I'm going to read this paragraph again because it's a hugely important paragraph, what Jenlen's writing here. Again, he wrote, there's a distinct difference between forcing words or images into a feeling and letting words or images flow out of a feeling naturally. When you force words and images into a feeling, you effectively smother it and prevent it from showing its real nature. This is what people do, folks. You tell it, oh, I already know what you are. I already know your anxiety. I already know that, this is my self-worth or lack of self-worth. I already know this is me not being loved. I already know this is my trauma. When you do that, you create a narrative that fucks you over. This closed-minded approach is unfortunately the approach most people take to their bodily feelings most of the time. The approach fails to make anything new happen, fails to reveal anything not known before, fails to produce change. As a result, people go round and round with the same problems, expend a lot of energy, and get nowhere. When you're conceptual, when you think you already know what's going on or how you're going to manifest something or what the law means, whatever the hell that means. When you're in your mind and closed-minded like that, you're not letting your feelings and imagination guide you. Jenlen goes on to write, the words and images that flow out of a feeling, by contrast, are the kind that make a freshly felt difference. They are the kind that make you say, hey, yeah, that's what it's all about. These are the words and pictures that produce a body shift. Again, the words and images that flow out of a feeling naturally flow out of a feeling, are the kind that make a freshly felt difference. You notice it right away. You know it. They are the kind that make you say, hey, yes, that's what it's all about. This is it. These are the words and pictures that produce a body shift. The body shift is mysterious in its effects. It always feels good, even when what has come to light may not make the problem look any better from a detached, rational point of view. In the external 3D world, guys, things might be just as screwed up as before, but you will feel a shift within you. It always feels good, that clarity. Again, I'm going to just quote from the last passage we were reading before, the last video. Jenlen wrote, this is what you are looking for, something that comes along with a body shift. Discard everything else. Guys, this is so much of feeling is the secret. And all of this cool manifestation stuff, the stuff that Neville talks about, that all these great metaphysical teachers talk about, also the kind of stuff that Coué talks about in terms of how imagination is dynamic and how the body is intelligent dynamically. That's not discussed as much in manifestation writings, but it's discussed brilliantly by Jenlen. Trust the body's intelligence. Trust your imagination and what the body is telling you. Jenlen says, this movement, the process of letting words and pictures develop out of a feeling, letting it label and explain itself, will often happen simultaneously with the previous movement that he was discussing, finding the crux of a problem. The special feeling of what's the worst of this, or, what's the crux of this problem, which I was discussing in the previous video. Really getting to that feeling and feeling into that feeling. When there's clarity naturally arising, I'm paraphrasing here, will be words, images, labels, revealed meanings. Or maybe the feeling will be followed so swiftly by words and pictures that the two movements will seem like one. If that happens within you, welcome it. These instructions don't deal with a mechanical process, but a human one. Again, what we're talking about here is not conceptual, it's not mechanical, it's not scientific, no matter what people say. It's artistic, it's nuanced, it's based upon the personality, it's based upon the intelligence of the body, it's based upon your wonderful human imagination. This stuff, guys, this is the real process. If you do this kind of work, you can forget most manifestation techniques, most of the conceptual stuff, and just work directly with how you're feeling. What's bothering me? What's that resistance I feel, that contraction? Feel it. Don't conceptually think about it. Feel it. Wait for the body to tell you something. Wait for that shift to happen. That shift will feel good. It will feel like clarity. That is really much more the essence of manifestation than all these much more sexy sounding teachings with all their esoteric wonder. Focusing the way Jen Lin describes it is much more effective in my experiences.